All right, this is the magnetic ion compound building activity. So the purpose of this activity is to explore ionic bonding. So there are several resources that you can use for this video. There is this video, or sorry, this activity. There is, of course, this video. There isn't the formation of ions, ionic bonding, and of course a periodic table. If you need this. So let's look at the instructions. So use the magnetic ions to make a neutral ionic compound. Then write the formulas for the compounds made from the ions. When writing ionic formulas, remember that the cation, the positive metal ion, comes first. The squares won't turn green until the entire row is correct. So I did leave you an example of calcium and chlorine. So calcium is going to have, or the calcium ion is going to have a +2 charge, and a chlorine ion is going to have a -1 charge. And if we look at this hint, the crisscross method, the numerical value of each ion charges is crossed over to become the subscript of another ion. When naming ionic compounds, the cation is the name of the element. For the anions, drop the ending off the element name and add "ide." So here's the example. So you can see the crisscross example. There's this 2 right here on calcium. That is how many how many chlorides we need. This 1 right here is calcium, and we just don't write the 1. And then we write that as calcium chloride. That is the name. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do one of the more complicated ones. I'm going to go ahead and do number 10. So we have aluminum with a +3 charge and oxygen with a -2 charge. So what it means by using the magnetic board is using this. So you can see here I have aluminum over here, and I've got oxygen over here. So you could use that crisscross method, but all the positives and the negatives have to cancel out for a 0 charge. So in order to do that, like you can see here that aluminum has a -3 charge. Oxygen has a -2 charge. So you can see, well, it's not quite a neutral atom yet. Okay, well, now I've got more oxygen. I need another aluminum here. And then now, if I look at this, you can see that now it is a neutral. So like it is a square. So I have 2 aluminums and 3 oxygens in order to make this ion. So you could also use the crisscross method. So you do have this +3 charge here. That tells you how many oxygens you need. You have this 2 or this -2 charge. Well, you just ignore the negative, and that's going to tell you how many aluminums you need. That's going to be 1. So I come in here, and I am going to write Al, and I'm just going to put 2. Normally, this would be a subscript, but it's too difficult to get a subscript, so we'll just write the 2, and then O3. Now you're going to write the name of the ionic compound. So remember, you just write, well, the positive cation is just aluminum. Good. And then you drop the last part of the anion and just add "ide." So it would be oxide, right? Aluminum oxide. So good. Got that one correct. So that is one of the trickier ones because that one requires a subscript for both of them. But sometimes if you look up here, well, this calcium, well, it's got a +2 charge. You're going to need 2 chlorines, 2 negative of those charges to balance that out and make it a neutral ionic compound. So once again, this is the magnetic ionic compound building activity.